When most executives hear key person risk, they think retirement or resignation, the big transition that gets planned for years in advance with succession committees and leadership pipelines and carefully managed announcements. That's the least likely version of the problem. I'm Anne-Marie Hurk, Executive Crisis Readiness Advisor. My work sits at the intersection of crisis readiness and governance, specifically decision authority under pressure. This series asks one question: can your organization function without you? And today I want to talk about the version of key person risk that actually happens regularly, quietly, in organizations that think they've got it handled. Here's the real list: vacation, illness, a family emergency that pulls someone out without warning, a flight delay that stretches into a day, a conference with back-to-back sessions and a phone that stays in a bag, a location with no cell signal, a bad day where somebody simply isn't available the way they usually are. These aren't edge cases. They happen every quarter. Some of them happen every month. And every single one of them is a test of whether your governance structure actually holds or whether it only works when the right people are in the room. Here's what I see most often. Authority concentrates around individuals, not because anyone planned it that way, but because those individuals are good, reliable, and always available. Decisions route through them. Dependencies build quietly. Documentation doesn't happen because it doesn't feel necessary. The person is always there until they aren't. And then everything that was invisible becomes invisible all at once. That's governance drift in slow motion. Authority migrating away from documented roles and towards whoever shows up consistently. It doesn't announce itself, it accumulates. And by the time it surfaces, it's usually because something went wrong. For organizations pursuing CMMC compliance, this is explicitly on the table. Personnel controls, backup responsibilities, documented access authority. Assessors will ask what happens when your key person is out, not as a hypothetical, as a requirement. If your answer lives in someone's memory rather than on paper, you have a gap that will surface in assessment before surfaces in an incident, if you're lucky. But here's the crisis readiness dimension that concerns me most. In the first 20 minutes of a serious incident requires fast, clear decisions, a cyber breach, an AI-generated deep fake of your leadership, a regulatory action that lands without warning. In those first 20 minutes, the people who need to act have to know they can act, and they have to know that they're authorized to do so. If the person who holds that authority is on a plane, you've already lost the time. You cannot recover. Key person risk isn't a succession problem, it's a today problem. Next episode, 3 questions your organization should be able to answer right now about decision authority. Most can't answer all 3.